Hello everyone and welcome to Activities for Multilingual Families. It's a channel where we'll be sharing ideas to help you foster your languages in a fun and compelling way. I'm Yoshito.
I'm Anna.
And I'm Ute.
In this video we share something that you've probably tried already, but we're going to explore it and see how it can be adapted to different age groups, to different languages, and we will see what the benefits are when it comes to speaking.
Tongue twisters are good for improving pronunciation and speaking skills. They are like physical exercises as we strengthen and stretch the muscles involved in speech when we try to articulate sounds. This muscle exercise leads to a clearer pronunciation, to clearer speech patterns, and it helps to rectify sounds that might be hard for us to articulate. Tongue twisters challenge our capacity to enunciate the individual sounds in each word so we don't trip up. This means that they force us to pay careful attention to the precise sounds in each word. They are not only a good exercise for beginners in the target language, but also for those whose articulation is hindered or affected, for example by retainers or tooth gaps. Tongue twisters are also a great warm-up for actors, singers, and public speakers.
And did you know? Mastering the individual sounds of your language is a critical skill for reading and writing success.
A tongue twister is a sentence that have repeated similar sounds that are difficult to articulate altogether, even for us professional speakers. This difficulty means that first we're going to get it wrong and it's going to make everybody laugh. But this laughter is the key, because our children are going to see that that are supposed to be these perfect speakers of their languages can't pronounce everything properly. This is letting them have a chance to get it wrong and to be okay with it, because daddy and mommy can't do it either. So the aim is to first say it slowly, then faster and faster and faster, and you see how fast you can go without making any mistake. So let's have a look at how I've done it with my sons. Bon, on va faire un truc qui s'appelle le vire-langue. C'est un truc, c'est difficile à dire parce que c'est super rapide. Ok?
Ok.
Alors, d'abord, le truc c'est la nounou de Ninon ne dit ni oui ni non.
La nounou de Ninon ne dit ni oui ni non.
Oh, t'arrives bien toi. Tu veux essayer?
Ok.
Vas-y. La nounou de Ninon ne dit ni oui ni non.
Ok. La nounou de Ninon ne dit ni oui ni non.
Attends, est-ce que tu sais... Attends, calme-toi. Tu sais ce que ça veut dire ou pas?
Oui.
Ça veut dire quoi? C'est quoi la nounou? Ah, c'est pas don. La nounou, c'est childminder. Ah, la nounou de Ninon, ça t'arrive à dire?
Oui.
Vas-y, dis.
La nounou de Ninon ne dit ni oui ni
Ouais.
non.
Presque. Ah, tu connais le jeu Ni oui ni non?
Attends.
Attends. La nounou de Ninon? La nounou de Ninon?
La nounou de Ninon ne dit ni...
Attends. Après, c'est ne dit.
Ne dit ni oui ni non.
Ah, ne dit.
Ne dit
Ni oui ni non.
ni oui ni non.
Ouais, comme le jeu là. Ni oui ni non.
Ok.
Attends, alors redis
La
lentement.
nounou de Ninon ne dit ni oui ni non.
Oui. Ah, c'est plus vite.
Ok. La nounou de Ninon ne dit ni oui ni non.
Oh, presque. T'as dit ni non.
La nounou de Ninon ne dit ni oui ni non.
Oh, high five.
La nounou de Ninon ne dit ni oui ni non.
Oui, c'est ça.
Attends. La nounou de Ninon ne dit ni oui ni non.
Ouais. La nounou de Ninon ne dit ni oui ni non.
Ok, attends.
Ne dit ni oui ni non. You can see that first, I'm explaining the meaning of the sentence. So, Ninon's childminder neither says yes, no, no. Even in English it's a bit difficult to pronounce. And then I do it bit by bit, so they can pronounce each section at a time on their own. It helps them see where I pause, where the meaning can be grouped together, and then they say it faster and faster until they can't anymore. And actually, the aim is probably to make the mistakes so that everybody laughs together.
We can find tongue twisters for different levels of language proficiency. So for our little ones, we could start with she sees cheese, or a bit more difficult, she sells seashells by the seashore, And with the older children, maybe, how much wood could a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? You can find plenty of examples in children's books like Fox and Socks by Dr. Seuss. Have a look at the books with rhymes that you have. You might find some tongue twisters. Share a link to a collection of tongue twisters in the description of the video.
If your children can't read yet, you can help them by saying the tongue twister word by word, asking them to repeat, and practice until they've memorized it and feel confident to try it on their own. For children who can read, you can write a tongue twister on a board, on a piece of paper, or read it on a device or on a book, maybe with pictures to illustrate the meaning and help memorize the sequence. Tongue twisters are often a little absurd, a little nonsense, so you can talk about their meaning and create illustrations for them.
So here's a little tip I can give you. If your child is a bit too self-conscious about the mistakes they're making and they feel defeated and don't want to do it anymore and don't find it funny, is to tell them to mouth it. If they mouth it and repeat it mentally, they're going to get the practice. Because they won't be pronouncing any sound, they won't have any mistake. So which means that they can get more practice on all the syllables on the whole sentence, and it's going to get easier and easier. It's a bit what like athletes do when they repeat complex movements. They prepare themselves mentally, they repeat that movement mentally to get it right. And if we push this idea a bit further, it can become a game we play with our older children, where one player is going to mouth the tongue twister and the others try to guess what it is. So because all the syllables sound similar, they're going to be pronounced similarly, which means that it might look like someone is just opening and closing their mouth over and over. So the person who is saying it or mouthing it has to really articulate what they're saying, and the others have to really look at the details of what's being mouthed. So here's an example in English. Did you guess what I said? I'll repeat it one more time, slowly. It's a very famous one, so you might have picked up on what it was. Leave a comment below if you know what it is. Another variation of tongue twisters that's probably more appealing for younger children is to change their voice and to try to repeat it by changing their voice. So one player is going to be the one saying the tongue twister, and the other one is going to be giving commands. So louder, quieter, or Mickey Mouse, so they have to pronounce the tongue twister like with the voice of Mickey Mouse, or robot, and they have to pronounce it like a robot. So it's a mental gymnastics. First they have to get the tongue twister right, and then they have to think, okay, what was the command? Okay, like Mickey Mouse, and they try to pronounce like Mickey Mouse. Let's have a look at what it looks like. D'abord on va dire Mickey. Encore Mickey. L'ogre. Ah, plus fort. D'abord on fait Mickey alors. Ah, dis juste normalement avec ta voix d'abord.
La nounou c'est ni non, la tini oui non.
Plus vite.
La nounou c'est ni non, la tini oui non.
Plus vite. La nounou c'est ni non, la tini oui non.
We can also explain the meaning of the tongue twister. It helps not only to understand where a word ends and the next one starts, it's also an opportunity to learn new words in the target language and, for example, the syntax structure. Like in this German example.
Der Dachdecker deckt dein Dach, drum dank dem Dachdecker, der dein Dach deckt. Der Dachdecker deckt dein Dach, darum. Der Dachdecker deckt dein Dach, drum dank dem Dachdecker, der dein Dach deckt.
Weißt du zusammen sagen?
Okay. Der Dachdecker deckt dein Dach, drum dank dem Dachdecker, der dein Dach deckt.
Where the subject, the direct and indirect object, namely the nominative, accusative and dative, can be found in different positions of the sentence. Tongue twisters are also great to explore multiple meanings of words, like in this Dutch tongue twister.
Als bergen, 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 bergen.
En dat heet, wat bedoel je daarmee?
When lots of mountains deposit lots of mountains, lots of mountains deposit lots of mountains.
Heel goed. Knap hoor.
It seems very easy in English, but as you can notice, it requires quite some mental exercise to distinguish which bergen in this example is a noun, an adjective, or a verb, as they all seem and actually sound the same. We can explore all our languages by finding similar tongue twisters. For example, in Dutch, we have one that sounds very similar to one in German. The one in Dutch sounds als echte vliegende vliegen, vliegende vliegen vliegen, vliegen vliegende vliegen, vliegenden vliegen achterna, which is very similar to the German one, and the German one is much shorter.
Ja, magst du noch mal sagen?
Wenn Fliegen hinter Fliegen fliegen, 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 fliegen nach.
Nochmal schneller.
Wenn Fliegen hinter Fliegen fliegen, 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 fliegen nach.
Nochmal.
Wenn Fliegen hinter Fliegen fliegen, 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 fliegen nach. Ja?
Ja.
Fischers Fritz fischt frische Fische. Frische Fische fischt Fischers Fritz.
Schneller.
Fischers Fritz fischt frische Fische. Frische Fische fischt Frisches Fritz.
We can also practice some sounds we struggle with, like, for example, the Italian R sound. And we can start with practicing short tongue twisters like tre tigri contro tre tigri. And then increase by trying longer tongue twisters with the same or similar sound combinations. We can also accompany the tongue twisters with a musical instrument or tap the rhythm. Tapping the rhythm actually helps us to focus on that instead of the articulation. And we can also memorize tongue twisters much easier by saying them in a rhythmic way, like a rap.
Liesje leerde Lotje lopen langs de lange linde. Liesje leerde Lotje lopen langs de lange lindenlaan, maar Lotje wou niet leren lopen, dus liet Liesje Lotje staan.
Heel goed. Dat is heel goed. Dat helpt, hè?
O rato roeu a roupa do rei de Roma. Then repeat faster 3 times in a row. O rato roeu a roupa do rei de Roma. O rato roeu a roupa do rei de Roma. O rato roeu a roupa do rei de Roma. O ninho de mafagafos tem 7 mafagafinhos. Quem desmafagar o ninho de mafagafos, bom desmafagar... O ninho de mafagafos tem 7 mafagafinhos. Quem desmafagar o ninho de mafagafos, bom desmafagafador será. O ninho de mafagafos tem 7 mafagafinhos. Quem desmafagar o ninho de mafagafos, bom desmafagafador será.
Nog een keer.
7 zwarte zwanen zwemmen in de Zuiderzee. 7 zwarte zwanen zwemmen in de Zuiderzee.
Your child will be getting a hang of it. You see that they'll be feeling really proud to be able to say such difficult thing. And they want to test everyone and to share it with everyone, family, friends. So use that opportunity as well to exchange tongue twisters so your child can grow their repertoire of tongue twisters they can say. Another fun way to do it is also to create your own tongue twisters. So once your child understands what a tongue twister is, and it can be a silly sentence, try to get them to create their own silly sentence with similar sounding sounds. There are loads of ways to have fun with tongue twisters and our languages in general.
We would love to know how you did this activity with your kids and what else you would like to see on this channel. Please let us know in the comments below.
And if you like this video, please click subscribe and click the bell to be notified each time we publish a new video. Have fun with your languages!